Cinderella. You cannot touch what the eye won't light. The slip lit, the lampit, the core daughter, knuckle, the root, the property prints, the wire. But all this doesn't rekindle fine, for simply you cannot do that to a low you light. The guillotine, at least it is the execution public, taking to Pied's foot first, shoes fill up with glass. The blood is outside, it's smashing concrete, and the art of all over your wreckage. Prudence. Arrête. Stop. Do not marry that prince. The age of Roy is dying. Sparkle and loose heads. Bath. The stripping of the bath. Drips collected and poured. Cinderella. Diana. Skin pink from the burns. Flush, blooded cheeks, a light-headed stutter, and tiptoe timely to the room to wish again, for we are finished. She is the one. The kingdom. See the bones in your ankle. Your ankle is all skin and bone. Stress lines in your neck. Mine as well, fracture lines. Regality is a hoofed walk. Bleeding heel, cracked windshield, in the combustibles of Tiara, Diana, French Cinderella. Cinderella's therapist on Sunday morning giving assurances about the persecuted heroine makes MSN Messenger shut down. Wish our head overgrown is heat, in heated exchange, in the debuts and the peckers of the slipper. Oh slipper, forgive her. Perambulations, the very frenzy of bending and the sounds of liver. Though mice and frogs seem to lack persistence, don't they just fire something in the mind? Facebook, obsessed with you made memes of your car crash, where you look like Jill Dando's doorstep. Shaved head like Britney, held a child that was dying in the crook. On the internet, death meme for aspirational classes finishing school. To accelerate through the bright red lights where the ravens do not even have the time to pick dry when your bones are a bleached, flash bulb for morning news. When thinking of those who never had their day, at last no rush, for all that wealth, Rhodopsis or Cendrillon, is bound to be the result in order to show her how she looks when flinging Aschenputtel. The good one will allow me to gently manipulate her to something filthy, too tired to fly, but she wings it. How germane is it to analyse nothing that can be thought in scant shoe size? The song of the drowsy, gentle regrets. They came in the night and smashed a pumpkin that was a carriage so the mice could eat. The vermin traps under broken tiles, palatial floorboards and pipe dreams, contained stream and burning fur under the steps and prints of a shoeless kingdom. and all these lights will leave us legless, ugly sisters at the party and always on chairs without a dance. I am the rat of the castle, thick with self-care. Cinderella, a general reverse anyhow, a fey problem, bowed as a pea ballet, a military border patrol sensing threat with animal sense. In some versions, her father plays an active role in the humiliation of his daughter with the Percy. In others, he's dead. She represents my opinion, and not that of my employers. Everyone abounding heroes, desk breakers. It works out fine in the end. A leaving date changes our perspective. Eternally, you will be selected. This email is confidential. It may also be legally honoured. You are not the addressee, so you may not duplicate, forward, disclose, or have it any part of this, except this part, about disclaimers. The sender does not accept liability for any errors or omissions, that they opened, post-remembered your password, changed your status to in a relationship. A cupboard in the bull. Cinderella in reverse. In terms of expecting desire, a finger pick I bow. Biting and angry bears I'm wet now. Sensing treats with animal purse, not quite. With the work and the heart, thigh long on my mind all day. At work, my representing of their opinion and not that of my lovers. Her abounding heroes, taking one for the team to earn her place in the exclusive, which is a good thing eventually.
Sleeping Beauty. In utero Aurora has beauty 2 hands, but one left hand pebble dashed in utero. Wild animals, all for a sleeping woman's prince, approaching, carrying a hive for a dozen age, and in wait in a modest house, number 132 flat A, on a modest road. A slept upon beauty, tending to hanging gardens uprooted from her home, the dreaming mind rarely within the hard humour of roads. A black flag. From London public house to London public house, she dreams. From the lamb and killing to the uncle, her story begins. It begins when her spinning is cancelled. No one can spin. The risks of being awoken rudely. Risk a spin of the wheel, the good prince's rhetoric. Not always on point in these averse times then. Throughout the kingdom, spinning classes are cancelled, and virgin active fitness first or all out of a 9 a.m. start. The woman has woken, but not early. In clapping it was worse, when the legless bicycles marauded through silent pumps like 7 princes, to then 3, to then none. In her moment of needling, or a splinter, or a retraction, redacted from the contract, is she awake, really? Really, it is a cruel, spotted, spot, rush hour crush, upon the lung, fat vein sleep, German sleep to come, calm and tall into angioplasty, like it were bath. For she is living clean. She is being kissed, awake or no, in operation. Saving the date, operating the inverse of a Xerox tape-recorded child star, famed for sleeping. Well, thoroughly, and why not this dying skill of napping? The prince is wet in front of walls, hung close out, endless song opportunity. The all fours of his animal dance in little red cap, where his pony is a diminutive steed hanging over him, and his dripping wetness, that is beauty. He is named after the king of who has also braced himself in the IKEA togetherness of a plastic lake holiday, package, horse riding included, with future marriage, love, awakenings. Smuggled maleficent in awakening girls, red, rot, suffocation. With consciousness comes new problems. Once again, our life together, listen to itself being removed from the thought of children. It worried her. Pale, freckled skin, orange hair, knotted in two tails of saw tools, red lips like a Gloucester store, taking notes. Picture her as a desperate circuit, trying to link with her saviour. A wedding or a burning, for all that betrays her rewards. Sweet 16, 16 and pregnant, a musical funeral pyre for the first wife, and attempts at rape in your reality, television, reality, back to sleep. Maleficent, I just love your sickle cell anemic horns. So fierce, such tragedy in your backstory. Your soul is warped like genetics allegory. It is a transgender C4 docu where the focus is misrepresenting the body on the dance floor. Beauty, say yes to the dress. It is the only affirmation that is your own, aside from sleep. Side saunter, drugging, wallow whip of little briar rose spitting bit. Is empathy affordable to a prince? She calls back to me, busy rest of dung for fuel, for children. It's been weeks since awakening arguments begin. Eternal primates downs or out, and how he regrets, thinks young, the girls stick to their beds and make a meal of it. She's going to make it 15 layers of forget-me-nots, where amnesia becomes forgive me because I was instrumental in the party and abduction. Folding eggs, towel, paper chair like we hear them, crackle in the dough, exhausted fat of sleep, the side of the bowl a thick adhesive of not seeing times pass. She has always been floral with a whisk. And he does not make Seder kitchen jokes, though you are a beauty and I a symbol of Prince. With all our instruments to hand, make the best narcolepsy on a mythic scale. Revenge for rest, scales and dragons take graveyard shift. Blind knows its own belly, the fairies resort to magic and flora and Merryweather to get into a fight over the colour, blue or pink, of the gown. It is the first rest in 16 years upon a kitchenette in Spain. He's recalling that which was hidden too. She has awoken, but who is the man? The grammar too familiar, our special word erased and battered levied surgically down the sound of groaning, grooning and undreamt reprisal. He has proven to her she is old, and it is time to amend where it's quiet, warm, calm, dark and internal night, of being unwoken, impermanence, pillow, plastic bag, pill.
Sisterhood grammar, loneliness. Where to? A snow homunc which is man and taps on the door of nothing. With readable silence and gloves on, it leaves no fingerprints.
Out there in the snow building the then, they became whole armies of royal women, and the home-turned ice rink had the smell of polo mints. And sweated cold like an illness that inflames the pores, the sweat that stays around in petrified marks upon the body as a birthmark, returns, yet there is a remarkable calm upon her face, as though the volume of animal inside the blood was scalpel to our anchor, a slit behind the base that may bleed in droplets of scent on the surface of used shoes, and shared foot odour like a bond between humans in the fetid second-hand morn worry of young folk, ripped lace of the house of mouse, of fun skating until brokered, the hair turns whiter.
Open the doors of the palace and only the welcome will come in. A party dress is a passport to partial thrills of not romance, and perhaps that's referred for now. Of dancing sequence and social climb as suffering, pretense of orgy, participating because it seems one should be at the risk of the plastic walls and plasterboard, as a palace of blaze kicked and scuffed black and puckered, an apocryphal tale of a local trip and 4 fingers being cut off. and the accompanying scream of pain where princesses aren't aware of the suffering of their subjects. That is a sound to rest so sound.
In our old age, too little is remembered. The best harbour is a small, secluded harbour where learned warmth that repeats can be preserved. Fleeting fair, stocking coal animals swarm red left arm, holding hands through their gloves though they are ice players looking for a breakaway. But with those shoulders and the nape so fragile, it is a check away from the hospital of sorority. So this is what a party looks like, when no one wants a dumb marriage, just a dumb donkey or moose to love. Shut the gates up on the hopeful, then dance like a chicken, our most popular creature to consume. Lean and thought stupid by wishing it could be like this, all the time on the edge of a song of a precipice, where when the beat drops it is isolationist solo song, where even the rock stands still to salute the new monarch, who is the old monarch on a newly bearded face, on the tragedy of Sleep Hill rule with red inks on ballets. The detail in the litter to another place in hand, where pillows go palm justice pleases the people, the elderly sitting, the younger stood, to creep into a love that you are unused to, giving holding a body for warmth for its cold, and nothing more, now you may envisage her, a desperate circus.
Aspirations for one another are writing together, being aware of the fact that where in the kingdom of ice and snow everyone is colour matched to that snow, and with the cold and white, with their whiteness, where excellence of a face and the pristine animation of character and human flaw, there will be the wedding sequel, there will be the baby sequel, there will be the sequel, and the wedding prequel to know better as a lover. There is even money in it. Thank you very much. Take us to a bathroom, Jonathan.